So anyway, the state wants to save us from falling over, bumping our heads and drinking or smoking ourselves to death. And when listening to all that gives us bloaty head or the croup, we can't even be trusted to buy the cure. Go into a chemist and ask for 50 paracetamol and it's like you've gone into Boots in Harrogate and asked for a strawberry-flavoured condom.
It is utterly crazy, you know, and again, it's sort of like demeaning, really, that you can't be given the responsibility to handle 200 aspirins on your own. You know, there's some nanny person there saying, no, you're going to only have 8. You know, it's my life, you know. That's the thing. That's what people should think. It's my blinking life. It's not yours. You can't tell me whether to buy 200 or, you know, if I want to swallow the lot in one go, fair enough.
But you can only buy 3.5 of them at a time. And you go, but I've got a 7 headache.
Have these people got any brains? That's what I ask myself. You can only buy 8 aspirin or 8 paracetamol. You can buy 8 in Tesco's, you can go 8 in Boots, you can go 8 in Waitrose, you can go 8 in Safeways. So you can kill yourself anyway.
It doesn't all go on a computer, so when you go into the next shop, they go, ha ha ha, you've just been in Boots, haven't you? Oh, sorry, caught out. You know, you can walk out with carrier bags, loads of the stuff. It's absolutely preposterous what you can do and what you can't do.
Do you know we can't give anybody aspirins in this blinking restaurant? We can't give people headache pills. I don't know why, but it's some reason that, you know, if they sort of choke on the thing or... You know, it's always this blinking thing about, you know, just in case this might happen.
Let me decide what's good for me, what isn't good for me. A little aspirin, half an aspirin a day, good for your ticker, apparently.
Not only that, we're not allowed to have aspirins in the kitchen, in any of the lockers, in any shelves anywhere. When the health people come in, they bollock us if we've got aspirins in there.
And as if all that isn't hard enough.
Well, that's a Viagra, please. Oh, we can't just give it to you, sir. You can't actually just go in and get it. You have to, you know, prove you need it, which I think is ridiculous, you know. What are you supposed to do? Hold up a photograph of your wife and say, there you are, can I have a dozen, please?
Viagra, can you get it over the counter? Well, if you can get it over the counter, you don't need Viagra in the first place.
Tony, we said no silly willy jokes, didn't we?
Puff, 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 puff your cares away.
Anyway, as regular viewers might have gathered, it's in the nature of our grumpy old men to be grumpy. They're either grumpy about not being allowed to smoke, or they're grumpy about other people smoking. And since fairness and balance is the hallmark of our series, let's listen first to the smokers.
I do smoke, and I believe I'm entitled to smoke. It's not illegal to smoke. And as for the types of Livingstone and all those trying to stop smoking in adult centres of entertainment, that's what I call restaurants. Fine in McDonald's, fine in Burger King, where you're going to get a lot of kids. But where you've got adults who have got a brain, they're meant to have a brain, they've got a perfect idea of making freedom of choice, they can come in here, or they don't have to come in here.
Why don't people open a pub or a bar that's totally non-smoking and let the non-smokers go to that if they want to? They'll probably make a fortune if they're pissed off with having people smoke around them.
But how many times do you actually go into a smoky atmosphere these days? I mean, I just think it's overstated.
OK. And in the other camp, our anti-smoking grumpies, of course, exhibit that tolerant, caring, sharing, compassionate attitude that we've come to associate them with.
I think people who smoke and boast about it deserve to die. You know, it kills you. Hello, it's on the label in very big letters, and they puff away and go, I smoked, you know, as if they were climbing Mount Etna or something, you know, as if they're doing something risky. They're not. They're just killing themselves in a very obvious way, and also blowing the smoke in your face as they do it.
Half of the pack says smoking kills. So you're going to be in a situation, I should say, in 10 years, where actually it's all smoking kills, and all you see is a little players or something sign, literally about 3 points. And I was thinking people will be going into the old newsagent and say, can I have the Sun, please, and 20 smoking kills?
Show us a grumpy old man, and chances are we'll show you a man who smokes and wishes he could give up. Or a man who used to smoke and wishes he still could.
I've given up smoking and I'm in a right state because, you know, in the end, it's just so vilified. Fewer and fewer places where you could go and do it. Eventually, there'd just be like a glass box and somewhere in the Isle of Sheppey, say, and then you'll have to go there to have a fag. You'll have to register as an addict and you'll go there and young social workers will beat you with sticks while you have your fag.
I started smoking when I was 15. I loved I can remember almost every single cigarette. If you ask me, they've almost got names. I almost have a book, a diary of great cigarettes, and it was good. All of them. Jeff, one of my he was a great cigarette. And then suddenly I just got the fear, and I was fearless most of my life. Half my life, I was fearless. I was going to live forever.
I'm ideal quality for being a grumpy old man because I speak here. I've been 6 days without a cigarette, and frankly, I could tear your fucking head off.
So let's spit it out. We want to be warned, told about the dangers, then left the hell alone to make our own decisions. Our grumpy old men used to get on their motorbikes or scooters and ride without crash helmets down to Brighton for the annual bank holiday fight. And if they wanted to ram their heads into a tree on the way back, that was their business. They used to drive their MGBs or Mini Cooper S's like bloody maniacs, and if they went through the windscreen, they were free to sport that rather attractive and currently fashionable sewn-together look. Nowadays, it's crash helmets, seat belts, front and rear airbags, and crumple-resistant bumpers. We even had to fill out a 40-page risk assessment to make this stupid program.
In the back seat with a belt on in the back seat, I just feel that I shouldn't be doing this. I'm too nannied here. Look, OK, maybe there's an outside chance I'm going to fly through the window and die, but I'm prepared to risk it not to be trussed up in the back. This is a 3-hour drive. I don't care.
It's insidious. It's there all the time, in all sorts of ways. Everything you do, everywhere you go, the influence of the state, in one form or another. And it might be just a local authority, but it's all authority is there.
You'd never do anything if you followed all these guidelines and rules that are supposedly set down for your own well-being and your own good. You'd never do anything, and you'd never have any adventure in life, and you'd never learn nothing.
Seems like it's never too soon to start nannying. Remember what prams were like when we were kids? Handsome carriages with 4 narrow wheels, just big enough for baby and a bit of shopping. What do they have today?
4-wheel drive cars. It's just the pram version of that. Why do we have those 4-wheel drive cars? And, you know, we're all living in little urban societies crashing around in battle tanks.
Pavements used to be wide enough for 2 or 3 people to pass. Nowadays, I saw one of those prams the other day that had got double wheels on each. A Range Rover doesn't need that, and it weighs nearly 3 tons. When I had kids, you had, the nice pram that looked like a pram. Now you've got these 3-wheeled things that are absolutely huge. They're like a Robin Reliant without the top on.
It's just an extension of this pampering, wrapping your kids in cotton wool, and it's a case of keeping up with the Joneses, isn't it? My pram's bigger than your pram.
Yes, but it's got the most precious thing in our world in it.
Well, carry it in what? Oh, no.
No, you see the papoose. I was waiting for you to get there. That is the worst of all. So we can hear Mummy's heartbeat.
Or the worst thing, bar nothing, is you see the mother driving, or the father, it doesn't matter, with one of the other parents in the back with the child. How tiny and shallow does your life have to be where you've got a choice? I could get in the car now, next to my wife or husband, have a reasonable chat. Oh, I get in the back and talk to a dribbling, vomiting 6-month.
And do you remember the first time you saw one of these? Oh, good job you told me, because I'd been thinking of driving like a lunatic and bumping into you. Now I know that you've got the Messiah in the car, I'll give you a wide berth. Give me strength.
Was there ever a more ludicrous sign on a car than, oh, we'll accelerate right towards the boot then. Baby on board. Thank you for telling us. Nothing we like more than pranging a baby. I mean, for God's sake. What are you... My mother has cancer? You know, why not? Baby on board. Fuck off.
And they don't take this baby on board sign down when the baby isn't on board. The sign remains there. They need to take the sign down. They need a baby not on board sign. Or a baby at Auntie Jean's. We need to know where this bloody baby is so we can adjust our driving accordingly.